Kind of get up. Kai, wake up.
The Corbitts decided to take a big risk and switch up their routine.
They'll come and we'll all jump in the car and take the 30-minute ride to Southeast.
Satira and Kevin Corbitt send their oldest son, Kai, to a startup school in D.C. with a different approach to learning.
They get us, like, they understand how we are.
But the more we thought about it, we knew that Kai needed something else. He needed the cultural piece. Like at the last school that the boys were at, we asked about, oh, what's the Black History Month program that we're doing? We want to be involved. And they were like, well, no, we really don't want to. We don't do Black History Month program.
Nandi, come on.
Just raising a little black boy, I knew I needed more than that.
Statesmen College Preparatory Academy opened last school year and will add a new class each fall up until 8th grade.
How are you, sir?
Rictor Craig is one of the founders of this public charter school, focused on young men of color, most living in D.C.'s wards 7 and 8.
Boys of color are just dissed. They're disengaged, disenfranchised, discouraged. They get dissed every day.
Black males are least likely to graduate from high school in D.C., according to data from the district. Only 74% of black boys and 60% of Hispanic boys graduated on time last year.
We're going to pray, Mr. King.
Craig's team is charting a different course.
We give our families everything. They don't have to pay for anything that's related to school. So uniforms, shoes, school supplies, like everything that is associated with school we take care of.
We kind of go from class to class, and it's fun for me. Yeah. It feels like college.
In class, there are the usual English and math lessons, but popular black culture is infused to help students better understand the subject.
I feel like here I learn more and I'm able to concentrate.
Who runs? Who runs? Who runs?
History class is a different story. They call it Kings 101.
When this academic war come, when this test come, I need that same energy.
Black history is standard, starting in Africa with stories about kings and queens, veering away from the traditional history lessons.
First image of a man who looked like me that I saw in my history book was a man in chains on his knees. What does that do to a black kid who sees that, right? Who looks at a man in chains as a man who looks like him and sees a man who may not look like him as a king.
Right there.
With 130 students, it's mandatory for teachers to keep them active for most of the day. There's required reading between classes, and this is what a lesson about the Stone Age looks like. It's a competition.
9 times 9, Solomon.
Which is a staple in their curriculum.
For shelters, because they were in teepees, I'm thinking about having a teepee competition, right?
Life is a competition. You're gonna fail a bunch of times, but equally you shall succeed.
For now, this is what these 4th and 5th graders consider a successful day. One of many incentives for excelling in class and good behavior is a trip to the game room.
3, 2, 1.
Sitting still is just as important, with one-on-one mindfulness sessions each week for teachers and students.
Just teaching them ways to address their emotions without feeling like they can't have an emotion. Because the misconception of being a male in general is you can't feel, you can't have emotions. This one over here, he lost his father the week that we did session, but he wanted to put peace, hope, and joy on the wall.
Only 2 students were suspended last year. Statesmen teachers say the way black boys behave is often misinterpreted and is where the disconnect begins.
Their moments of emotional discomfort are often feared. So they're deemed as special ed, or they need to go to the ISS class because they might do something, and it's usually the same thing. They're just a bigger kid with the same tantrum as a child of a different race.
Are we going to cut the pig in the same fashion that we cut our frog?
This 5th grader says he's an A student, but started to lose interest and never felt valued at his old school because of the color of his skin.
Out of 500 kids at that school, there was only about 15 black kids. So I feel like they thought all of us were aggressive, or all of us had a learning disability, or things like that.
Nearly half of all Statesmen students are considered at risk, a higher concentration than many other schools in D.C., and most are behind grade level.
A striped tie means you get all A pluses, all B pluses, or both. For me, I get all A pluses.
36 divided by 8. 64 divided by 8.
But with one full year down, Craig is sure this model will work and most students will be at grade level or higher when the first class moves on to high school in 2023.
We want them to know that school is fun. School is not a place that feels like prison. School is not a place where I'm gonna go and get additional traumas.
The main operation of the liver is to clean and take in the bad stuff of your body, for example, alcohol.
As for the Corbitts, they're convinced this is the right path to prepare Kai for the real world and plan to send his younger brother when he starts 4th grade next year.
You know, when you walk out the door and turn on the TV, you know very much that you are considered a minority, and you know very much that there are some things that are stacked against you. So it really is kind of like a retreat for a few hours a day.
Good morning, Kai. How are you? How are you doing today? Good. Awesome. It's so wonderful to